Alito Chimachukma. This is Chief Steve coming at y'all with another episode of True Story. Before we get into it, I want to say Yokoki, thank you to all of my subscribers. We are now 450 plus strong in this community. I truly appreciate your support. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, press the notification bell so you'll know whenever these bombs drop, you'll be the first one to catch them. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, y'all, so I did a poll recently asking if you guys would like me to showcase some of the Niji's clips from X and other social media platforms, and the overall consensus was yes. Got 100% on the poll, so this is what this is going to be today. And there was a few votes. I appreciate those who participated in the poll, and I would encourage others to participate as well. When you see these polls come out, they really help me to give more of a direction for the channel. So if you guys see those polls pop up, please feel free to voice out your opinion, act on those, and I'll look at them and I'll move accordingly. Alright, so with that being said, first thing we're going to get into, so I got a lot of bookmarks on social media, and particularly on X. I got a lot of pre-posts and things on TikTok as well. Our people are very resourceful. They do their work, they do their due diligence, and then they spread the word, they spread the good news. I by no means am the only person on this platform, on any platform, that's sharing vital information. There are people that's been here before me, and those will be here after me, sharing this vital information. But while I'm here, I'm going to share and spread the good news, as well as show you that we are not alone in this walk, in this journey, So if that hasn't become abundantly clear to you, it should be definitely after this video. But yeah, if you notice here, we're asking, who are you? Who are we as a community? We African Americans, or we American Indian? And please forgive me for the typo here on the AI. I mean, AI is AI. It's limited in so many ways. You won't even believe how long it took for me to get it to correctly, to get as much as it did get correct. So, you gotta work with me here, but it did the best it could here, so I can't complain. It's free. But yeah, it says, who are you? African American or American Indian? And this is going back to race and ethnicity categorizing, as we have seen on the SF-181 form. If you don't know what the SF-181 form is, you can refer back to my video of how the U.S. government defines race and ethnicity. It's a pretty popular video on there. If you haven't seen it already, please check that out. Make sure you like it and share as well. And I will be doing a follow-up on that particular subject in the coming future, as there are many ways to correct your status in this country, particularly in your state. And each state has individual forms that can be filled out, all pertaining to equal employment opportunity and also with vital statistics. So like I said, I'll be doing something on that in the future. So be on the lookout for that. But for now, yeah, there's a lot of people who are starting to understand that there is a fundamental difference between Black or African American and American Indian. And when you realize the lies that have been told to us and how we've been miscategorized and made to believe that we are something that we're not, it becomes infuriating and frustrating, because we really want to figure out, how do we put ourselves in the right position to make the moves that we need to make in order to progress as a people. And the first thing that we have to do is declassify ourselves. And I did a video on declassification as well. We know that to be classified or reclassified is to be suppressed, is to be redacted. And to declassify something means to make something basically available, make something available to and accessible to, whatever subject matter. So when you declassify something, that means you cease it from being suppressed, you cease it from being a secret. So declassified is to make something a secret, to make something inaccessible. To declassify means to bring it into the light. And so us being a reclassified people, somebody whose identity has been suppressed and made a secret, has been hidden, it is our obligation, it is our duty to declassify our status as individuals, to bring the truth to light as individuals, as well as a collective. But it starts on the individual scale first. And honestly, it doesn't take a lot to do this. And it's not really a major it's not really a major thing when you start acting upon it, because this is something that we already know, and this is something that needs to be done. So it should be something that's common knowledge. So one main example is when you get a piece of paper asking you what your race and ethnicity is, you will have multiple choices. Sometimes you would have to write it in. But know that with each choice, there is a definition, there's a meaning behind it. Everything is not just so cut and clear. And so it is your responsibility to understand, to overstand what these definitions are, and to make sure that you're not misplacing yourself incorrectly. So African American, American Indian, you got Black and African American. They put it on the same line, as you're gonna see later on, and an American Indian is on a totally different line. Okay, and you also have different other races and ethnicities that are legally defined by this corporation. And I know that it's been a lot of videos and, a lot of people coming out saying that, well, all of these terms are misnomers. We're this. We're really this. We're the Aborigines, or we're the ancient ones, or we're the carbon melanated people. I understand where you guys are coming from, and I know, when it comes to specifics, we like to nail things right on the head. So I get it. But how this United States government defines us as far as legally, our legal status, we have to manifest that, because it is only one ethnicity that truly defines us in the structure. They left a loophole for us, and that loophole is tied to our ethnicity. But in order for us to progress, we have to take advantage of the loophole that was given to us. Through all of this reclassification, they still left that needle in the haystack, and in which we have to, after much digging, genealogical research, family research, once we find this, we have to not only tout it and revel in it and speak out and celebrate it, we have to apply it, so that's what it's starting to come down to. Application is key. Applying what you know is key to moving to the end goal and the final destination. Okay? Now what that final destination is yet to be discovered. But we know that there is a lot of land that is tied to our family's names. There's a lot of things that are tied to treaty to our people as a collective. But how can we access those things if we as a collective cannot even come to a overall consensus of who we are, an overall knowing of who we are, an admittance and an appliance of who we are? We have to start with ourselves. We have to look at the man in the mirror. Once we see and once we know, then it becomes easier for all of us, as we will see one another continue to grow individually. It'll be easier for all of us to come together as like minds to progress forward to the next phase. Okay? But just to show y'all, because I've went over it before, just to show you guys that I'm not the only one talking about this. And shout out to all those who know, all those who have been putting this information out there. The person I'm going to show you, or the person that I'm going to showcase on this clip, is not the only person either. And shout out to Socialina that has also brought this information out. And shout out to Chief Bartran, BTW Network, for also touching on this and overstanding that Black and African American is not our true identity. It was a cover-up to put us into subgroups, to misplace us, to displace us, put us on another continent, and remove our identities away from our heritage and our inheritance. Okay? But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this clip. I'm going to expound a little more and see where we take it from here. So we're going to pause for the cause and get on into it.
When you're filling out the census, Black Americans, you know you have the option of putting down Black or African American or American Indian. You know that there are copper-colored people in Europe, but thanks to classification ways and policies, when they come over here, they can say they white. Did you know that? The Black Brits, the Black Scots, they're indigenous to Europe. And when they came over here, they were putting down white, classifying themselves as white. Those from Africa, the north part of Africa, I think like Egypt? The Egyptians? They're North African. When they come over here, they're listed as white. But when Black Americans fill out information, we're Black or African American. Nah, we are American Indian. U.S. Census takers know this information. They're the ones who have been reclassifying us since day one. Since this U.S. Census stuff started, they have been the ones reclassifying us. Look what it says for American Indian. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Tribal affiliation ain't nothing but meaning staying in contact and being connected with your lineage. It has nothing to do with the tribal card. Community attachment. What's that? The ghetto, the hood. We've been putting down the wrong thing, and these people know this.
Alright, y'all, so y'all heard the sister. You heard Arniji. She broke it down beautifully. And you see here the different definitions. And you see Black or African American, a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. If you know that you're not African, why are you still calling yourself Black? If you know that you're not from Africa, why are you still calling yourself an African American? These are official U.S. Census categories. These are different race categories that are legally documented, that has to be adhered to by the U.S. Census Bureau and the Office of Management and Budget. Okay? We are not a racial group. We are descendants of the original people. We have origins here in this continent. If you know this for a fact and you're here on this channel and you're rocking with me, you know this already. So let's step out of being something that we're not and claim who we truly are. Because this is vital. This is key. This is key to make the next steps to reclaiming what's ours. We have to do it first on an individual scale. And we can't do that if we are into a false representation of ourselves. So if you know the truth, you gotta step into it. You gotta walk in it. Black or African American does not describe us. Our color, our skin color is not even black. You can look on the sides of my screen here. Look outside of the wording. Look on the left of my screen and the right of my screen. Put your hand next to that screen. Put your forearm up to the screen. Does it look the same? No, it doesn't. We are shades of copper. We are not black people. Black is not our culture. We are our culture. Our culture is whatever we are. Do you understand? And I honestly, I get it exhausts me internally to constantly hear our people fighting and defending black when black has done nothing for us but keep us in a constant state of oppression. Yes, we as a people are beautiful. Everything that we have done, everything that we have achieved, everything that we are doing now and are going to do in the future is a beautiful thing, and it's all based on us as people, not us as a racial group, but us as an original people. You see it right here. We are not a racial group of Africans. We are an original people, stemming from the north, and some of us the central and south parts of America. American Indians are also in the Caribbean, and that becomes exhausting as well to see our mainland Nijis and our Nijis from the islands constantly going at each other. And rather who started it or who, that's, at this point, does it really matter? Because the division has already set in. You have people with huge platforms, not gonna say no names, that cling to the blackness, that clings to black first, being fundamentally black, whatever that means. We see what black really means right here, but for this person to influence everyone, not everyone, but to influence a good amount of our people to believe that our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean are not like us, and for those in the Caribbean to feel that we are not like them, or we have no, it's messy, it's terrible, and not making anything any better. Both sides need to do more research and understand that the Americas are all one continent. Yes, we are many nations. Even here on the mainland, we are many nations. But you see how we stop that divide on the mainland? We need to stop that divide between the mainland and the islands as well. That means those on the islands, those that feel that they came from Africa or are African and are not, need to do more research, need to get right, need to check themselves. those out here on the mainland that feel that they African need to get themselves right. Need to check themselves. And by checking yourself, I'm not saying if you are African, denounce your African heritage, or if you have African in your family or further down in your lineage. I mean, hey, it is what it is. We are generations removed from, our original claim. There's been so many people that have came here and have mixed with our people, and somewhere down the line, if you have European ancestry or African ancestry, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It just shows your diversity, and that's something that makes you who you are as a beautiful person. But do not let that be an excuse to downgrade or degrade your indigeneity, to degrade those who are claiming their indigeneity. Okay? And I'm not talking about no DNA test, spit in the tube. I'm talking about real affirmative ancestry, genealogical research, family research. If you know for a fact that you have African in your family, be proud of that. You know for a fact that you have European in your family, be proud of that. But at the same time, don't let that hinder you. If you know this, you're out here and the majority of your family has been here since the beginning, don't let that be an excuse for you not to claim your indigeneity. Same to those out here in the islands, and those who are in the islands, they have an even deeper story, because a lot of those that are on the islands, a lot of your ancestors came from here, from the mainland, and those who did not, that are still, that were still and were always on the islands. I mean, you guys are aborigines to those lands. Y'all got blood ties, okay? So, always be proud of who you are. And no disrespect to my African colleagues, to those who rock with us, who know who we are, because there's a lot of people from the African continent who know exactly who we are, and I'm going to show that to you guys right now. We're not the only ones that are finding this out or knowing about this. So we're going to pause for the cause, and I'm going to show you an example of those from the other continent, on the other side of the waters, who know exactly who we are. So stay tuned for that. Here we go. Alrighty, we're back. Shout out to Brother Darvid. It's one of my Nijis here on X. Shout out to Brother Darvid for always dropping some resourceful clips. But he posted something very interesting from a fellow Aborigine of this world, from the other side of the world, who knows who we are. And she's gonna break it down to y'all right now.
Dear melanated people in America, first they told you are the N-word. Then later they told you are the Black Americans. Then later they told you are the African Americans. And they told you that all of you come from Africa. It's a lie. America was an indigenous land owned by brown people. That is you. You're not black, you're brown. You're chocolate, you're melanated. So my question to you is, they have been telling you you're this, you're that, and you just take it. How come you don't question and find yourself? Like, who do you say you are? Who you say you are is in your DNA, and that is who you are. Find out for yourself, not their DNA tests. No, that's your land.
You see that? This melanated Aborigine from Africa just told you, do not depend on the DNA test. Do not depend on ancestry. And I know we have a lot of people who say that they're African on the social medias, and they get into, and I say they say that they are, because unlike this sister right here that put her face on the screen, you got a lot of them out there with fake avatars and stuff, and, you know, acting real bottish and trollish in our posts and in our communion, in our communicating with one another, jumping in and trolling and saying, oh, take a DNA test, do your ancestry DNA test, spit in the tube and see what percentage are you if you're Native American. First off, nobody called us Native Americans. We never claimed to be Native American. We are Indigenous. We are Aborigine. Okay? That's a whole nother thing in itself that I personally have chosen not to get into. I can if I wanted to, if I had to, but I'm choosing not to get into it because there's enough people doing it right now, and, you know, causing, like I said, as a whole, you want to do that, you want to know more about that, then there's plenty of people that's talking about that. But as long as they keeping the peace over here towards me, I ain't gonna, you know, like Kendrick said, don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell no truths about you. You keep, you know, they stay off of my platform, I ain't got nothing to say, because the truth is coming out and it's speaking for itself. Yet this sister from the other side of the world, this melanated Aborigine from the other side of the world, has sat there and told you, do not depend on DNA tests. Sat there and told you, your skin is not black. She just basically repeated everything that I had just told you in this video. Find out who you are. Find out who you are. Do your research on your family. And when you find out who you are, be proud of who you are. Stand on who you are, 10 toes down, and choose this day who you will be. There is no such thing as a black person. There is no such thing as an African American. You can't reside on 2 continents. Okay? Now you can have citizenship in 2 continents, but you can't be from 2 continents. And those who have African ancestry, they are tied to a specific country or to a specific tribe within that continent. You cannot be, there is no place called Africa, America, where these people just sprung up. There is no landmass called Africa, America. There is no landmass called black. Okay? And they want to say, oh, Negro land and this and that. No. When you do the research on Negro land and you look at where it is, you understand. You'll see. Just do your research. But that's neither here nor there. There is no such place called black. there is no continent called Africa, America. You either are one of us or you're not. Okay? So you choose. You choose this day. Are you going to apply what you know, or are you going to continue to classify yourself, suppress yourself, keep yourself hidden from your true identity? It's time to make these decisions, especially in this day and age when decisions matter most. All right? So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. If y'all enjoyed this video, you guys enjoyed these reactions, or these commentations on commentary, I don't know how you would say it. If you enjoyed my commentating or my commentary on these different Niji clips, please like this video, share it, share. And if you're new to the channel, like I said earlier, subscribe, because we're just getting into this. This is just the beginning of this particular type of segments, and we are also going to continue to go into the books. I'm working on new content from different books as well. We're going to finish the First Americans. That's first and foremost. We got at least one more video to do on that if it doesn't go too long, because this one's going pretty long. But this is not book related, so but I know with the book we have to sometimes divide it up a little bit, because it can get a little tedious, and overwhelming in some cases. But yeah, just had to get that out there. Thank you again, Yokoki, to all of my people that participated in the polls and decided that, yeah, this is something you guys wanted to see. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, this is Chief Steve signing off. I want to say Tatakista. I cherish you all. And again, Yokoki.